Hello, everybody out there in YouTube land. Welcome back to Diego Knows. I am, of course, Diego, and we're going to talk some more about Sex and the City. That's right, Sex and the City, that wonderful show from the late 90s, early 2000s. I'm actually done talking about that show. I've already reviewed that show. I've reviewed every goddamn episode. All 94 episodes of that show are done. They're in the shitter. They're in the can. They're done. You can watch them if you want. I recommend you watch the episode and then watch my review on it, okay? Because I point out a lot of stuff that the show left out, okay? And the reason the show left it out is because it was written by gay guys, okay? That's why, all right? You don't get that point of view here. My name's Diego, and I give you a straight man's point of view. So basically what that means is I'm going to talk to you the way a normal, average, heterosexual man would talk to you about these episodes, these women, these relationships, these circumstances, all that kind of stuff from a straight man's point of view. That is the point of view that you never got when you watched this show before, okay? That's what I'm here to do. I'm here to tell you exactly what a real guy would talk about, how they would talk about this show, okay? These situations, all right? A straight man's point of view. And I'm sorry, ladies, okay? And guys, if you're watching this, okay? If you're easily offended, if you're easily triggered, okay? If you're a snowflake, then get the fuck out of here right now. I do not censor myself. I'm going to tell you the truth, the real truth, okay? Straight up, baby, with no lube. No lube here. Let's see if you can handle it. I don't think you can. Honestly, I don't think you can. All right. Anyway, so yes, I've already reviewed all the episodes. I already reviewed the movie. Yes, I already reviewed the movie, Sex and the City, the movie that came out in 2008. I've already reviewed that piece of shit show and Just Like Crap. Those videos are on here as well. And now all that's left now is Sex and the City, the sequel, Sex and the City Part 2. Okay, and I can tell you right now, I just started reviewing it. This is Part 2 of my review. Okay, there's going to be several parts, okay, because I want to break down everything that I know about these women and bring back some history. Because like I said, I've just watched all the episodes. I've watched And Just Like Crap. I've watched all this shit. Trying to mold it all together, okay? Now that I've rewatched all these episodes. I've been a fan since the very beginning, since the show first came out in 98. Okay, I was a younger man back then, all right? But I was screwing a lot of girls and living in a big city, okay? So I'm definitely, my opinions are definitely valid, okay? All right, so anyway, so now we're talking about the movie, the sequel here, okay? Now I'm going to tell you straight up, and most people agree with me, this is the last appearance of Kim Cattrall in the series. Okay, she will not be back. No, she's not dead, but she's dead to everyone on the show. She's dead to Sarah Jessica Parker, and Sarah Jessica Parker and Michael Patrick King are the main producers of this show, of Sex and the City. Okay, and they don't want Kim Cattrall back, so Kim Cattrall is not coming back. All right. One of the things that I realized was that I didn't realize at the time, but I know now, is that Sarah Jessica Parker, Michael Patrick King, Cynthia Nixon and Kristen Davis, they're like this clique on the show, okay? And they didn't really react well with Kim Cattrall. And I think there's a lot of reasons for that. I know some of it had to do with pay, and some of it just had to do with popularity. You got to remember, Kim Cattrall was basically the Fonzie of Sex and the City, okay? For those of you that are old, you will know that reference, okay? There's a show back in the early 70s, there was a show called Happy Days, which was based, they were trying to cash in on the fame from American Graffiti, which is a movie that George Lucas did before he did Star Wars. But he actually got some of the cast members from American Graffiti to be into this TV show called Happy Days, which was started by Gary Marshall, okay, and his sister Penny Marshall, whatever. Okay, so they started a TV show called Happy Days in the early 70s, real quickly, okay. It was a show about the Cunningham family, okay, about the oldest brother, I forgot his name, the middle brother, which was Richie Cunningham, played by Ron Howard, and then the youngest daughter, which is Joni, and I forgot the actress that played her, Erin Moran played her, sorry. Okay, it was about their family in the 1950s, all right? And his friends from high school, Potsy and Ralph, okay? So yeah, they would go out trying to pick up girls, that kind of shit. And they had a friend who was a high school dropout. He's a mechanic. His name was Arthur Fonzarelli, okay? His nickname was the Fonz, okay? But Richie always called him Fonzie, played by Henry Winkler, who's actually Jewish, but he's playing some Guido Italian, you know, like an greaser, okay? A greaseball, a punk, you know, with the leather jacket and all. Anyway, basically the point is the show lasted for a long time, okay, but Fonzie became the standout character. That was the person that everyone kept, so they started writing the show around him. Okay, he became basically the star of the show. I mean, the main character, Richie Cunningham, he left the show. Ron Howard left to go fucking direct movies, okay, which he succeeded in very well, obviously, okay, but the show wasn't about him anymore, it was about Fonzie. Fonzie became, that's what kept the show going until he jumped the shark, but that's a different story. The point is that a lot of times on these TV shows, when they cast the certain characters, no one knows for sure whether one character is going to take off, okay, and become like the fan favorite. And that character ends up becoming the reason that people stay and watch the show. Okay, on Good Times, the Good Times is a show about a black family living in Cabrini Green in Chicago. I know that neighborhood very well. Okay, it's gone now, but back then that was the ghetto, one of the ghettos of Chicago. Okay, and Jimmy Walker, who played JJ, became such a fan favorite on the show that they kept tuning in for him. I mean, the parents, they wrote off the parents off the show, and they were still watching it because of Jimmy Walker. He was the standout. He became like the focus of all the episodes. He became the main character, basically. Okay, and that's what happened with Samantha here. This has happened plenty of times in the past. Okay, there's a lot of shows where this happened at. Okay, yeah, obviously, Good Times was one of them. Okay, but no one expected Kim Cattrall to be the standout of the show because you got to remember Samantha's character. Okay, she represented the boldness of women. Okay, the free sexuality. I mean, she was the '60s personified, all about fucking guys and don't remember their names. You know, and it's okay because I'm a strong, independent, tough woman. Okay, well, she would do the things that a lot of women normally wouldn't do. She was the aggressor. Okay, she was the one that didn't call you back the next day. She was the one that fucking that approached the men and got the men and fucked the men. Okay, she was the one that did all that stuff. Okay, the only time we ever see women have orgasms is Samantha. I mean, we see that all the fucking time on this show and in these movies. Okay, Samantha's the only one that does it. The only one that gets totally fucking buck-ass naked all the time. Well, Miranda does sometimes, but I wish she didn't. Okay, but it's Kim Cattrall. It's Samantha. She's the one that gets nude all the time. She's the one that fucking has the orgasm. She's the one that we see all the positions in. She's the one that we always see the naked guys fucking her. Okay, it's always Samantha that does that. She represents that bold sexuality, that confidence. Okay, that ball busting, I'm a tough fucking bitch. Okay, but with that comes, some consequences. Like she can't pair bond. Okay, she can't really be in a relationship with a guy. They don't really know what to do with her now because she never settled down there. She's not the kind that'll ever settle down. She's gonna keep riding the cock carousel until it doesn't want to ride her anymore, until they won't let her on anymore. And then what's she gonna do? Exactly, she gets written off the show. And that's basically what happened, all right? So yes, Kim Cattrall's not on here. Well, she's on this movie, and this is the last time we will ever see her. Okay, so I just want to get that out of the way, just so we know everything that Kim Cattrall does, that Samantha does, this is the last time we're gonna see it, okay? Okay, so this movie opens up here. What I already talked about last time is they do a little flashback. Carrie's walking down the street. She remembers 1986 when she first got to New York. She remembers when she first met Charlotte, when she first met Miranda, and of course when she first met Charlotte. They go to the Berghoff to get to register for the wedding of Stanford and Anthony. Yeah, they're getting married. It's this big palatial wedding in Connecticut at some fucking country resort or something. I don't know what it is. Okay, but they got hotel rooms in there for the guests of the wedding. It's big. Obviously, they dropped lots of money on this thing. So that's where the girls are right now. Everybody's there. Okay, Harry and Charlotte are there. Their toddler baby, Rock. Okay, well, she's still Rose right now. Okay, the 2-year-old. Okay, still Rose. She got born in the last movie. All right, she's with the nanny who we have not met yet. Okay, Brady is probably with Magda. He's not there. That's what I'm guessing. Okay, but Brady's like 7 years old. He's like in 2nd grade now or something. Okay, 2nd or 3rd grade. Okay, and then let's see. Carrie's there, but she's dressed like a fucking man. She's dressed like Julie Andrews from Victor Victoria. Yes, y'all know who I'm talking about. Yeah, basically because it's a gay wedding, so she has to look gay too. Okay, and Big apparently has no problem with it, all right? Because, yeah, whatever you want, Carrie. I'm just here to make you happy, Carrie. Whatever you want, Carrie. Yeah, basically that's Big right now. He didn't used to be that way. He was the opposite of that, actually, which is why I liked him so much in the show. But now he's basically whatever you want, sweetheart. Whatever you want, honey. It's all yours. I'll buy you whatever you want. You want a new penthouse apartment? You got it. I'll build you a big closet. Whatever you want, sweetheart. That kind of thing, Exactly. Okay, so he's okay with it. Miranda's there, and of course she's being a bitch as always, and so's Steve. Okay, so basically all the main characters are there. Okay, so that's going on here. So now we're at the wedding, okay? Okay, and this is what happens next. Okay, so black hat. Okay, where's ugly black hat? It looks horrible. Okay, someone's wearing an ugly black hat. Okay, so yeah, so Stanford is there. She has a little heart-to-heart talk. He has a heart-to-heart talk with Carrie, okay, in the dressing room. He's in a white tuxedo, whatever. So that's going on here. Ugly black hat. Looks horrible. Okay, so now the wedding is about to begin, okay? So Carrie goes up there onto the podium there. That's where the wedding's going to be. You got Stanford there and Anthony there. And they've each got microphones. Okay, Carrie gets on one side, and then some other guy gets on the other side. Samantha notices the other guy. Oh, he's hot. Who's that? He goes, oh, that's Anthony's brother, Nicky. Okay, he's not I don't know what the fuck this guy. He's a fucking male model. Okay, that's all he is. He's a fucking male model. Okay, he's just fucking there for a pretty face for the ladies. Okay. For another guy for fucking Samantha to fuck, okay? Assuming that he would fuck her, but of course he's gonna fuck her. See, that's another thing, okay? I call it the bullshit on the show, okay? And there's a lot of bullshit here. Okay, Samantha is fucking 52 years old. Yes, she's attractive, but she's still fucking 52 years old. This guy looks like he's fucking 24. He doesn't even look like he looks like a fucking male model. Okay, which is, I'm pretty sure that's what he is in real life, okay? He's not an actor, okay? He's a male model, okay? Why would a male model, 24-year-old male model, want to fuck a 52-year-old woman? At a wedding. Why? The only reason, from a straight man's point of view, the only reason a guy like that would fuck Samantha is if he couldn't get another girl, a younger, more attractive woman to fuck him. This guy's super fucking good looking, because that's the only kind of guys that Samantha fucks, remember? Because that's realistic, okay? So he's a super good looking guy, okay? I didn't really pay that much attention, but I'm pretty sure there's some younger women at this wedding. There's a shitload of people at this wedding. Like over $1 million was spent on this wedding. Easily. I don't know where the fuck Stanford got that money from, but he got it. Okay, over $1 million. Okay, probably a lot more than $1 million, and I'll get to that in a minute. Wait till you see who's singing here. Okay, but yeah, so he probably would. There's probably some younger, better looking girl that he would have hooked up with, or a guy like that probably has a girlfriend or a wife that he would have brought with him to this wedding. After all, it is his brother's wedding. But let's assume that he's single, okay? There's no girlfriend he's got that doesn't want to go to his fucking brother's wedding. Are you fucking kidding me? Really? Okay, if this guy doesn't bring his own date to his brother's fucking wedding, okay, then either one, he's gay, like his brother, or two, he can't get anybody. Why couldn't a guy like this get anybody? You see, these are not good things. Okay, so I can understand Samantha being attracted to this guy. Okay, I do not understand why he is attracted to her. I don't get it. And that's a straight man's point of view. It's because the show's written by gay guys. Okay, and in the gay guy world, in Lollipop land, in the Sex and the City land of gayness, this is actually what happens in real life. Okay, in real life, this doesn't happen unless she's fucking. Now, if she paid for him, like y'all seen that movie, I forgot the one where Dermot Mulroney plays the gigolo that gets paid to go to the wedding. Some girl's friend is getting married or some shit. So she pays this guy to be her boyfriend. Y'all know the movie I'm talking about. It's with that girl from fucking, that sitcom about the gay guys. You know the one I'm talking about. Not Dharma and Greg. You know the one I'm talking about anyway. Yeah. So yeah, if it was a paid male prostitute, then I can see that. Absolutely. But that's not what's going on here. Okay, moving right along. Carrie's up there on the other side. Okay, and Carrie's wearing this ugly, disgusting hat. Okay, that would make the Wicked Witch of the West jealous. Okay, it's like a 1920s thing, but it looks disgusting. It looks bad. Makes her look more like a witch, like her sister witch in that witches movie that she's in. You know, the Halloween one with Bette Midler. You know, yeah, I don't watch that shit. Okay, and I can't remember. My memory's failing me right now. But you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, she looks really bad with that hat on, and she looks like shit because she's wearing a fucking tuxedo too. So yeah, so sorry, Carrie, you're not doing anything good for yourself here. All right, Sarah Jessica Parker. Okay, so that's going on here. The wedding begins. Lily is obviously one of the flower girls, which I thought was kind of cool. It was a nice touch. Okay, the gay guys are all singing. Of course they are. You know. I forgot what song they're singing, you know, but whatever. They're singing it. Okay, Samantha notices is the hot guy. That's fucking Nicky. That's the brother. Okay, and then we get introduced to the person who's actually going to commence the wedding vows. Okay, who's going to do them. Okay, who's going to perform the ceremony, the wedding ceremony, and it is, wait for it, boom, Liza Minnelli. That's right, Liza Minnelli, the cabaret girl herself. Now, if you remember in the last movie, I spoke a little bit about her mom, Judy Garland, the late, great Judy Garland. Okay, there's a lot of parallels between Liza Minnelli and her mother. Okay, so let's get into this. Okay, so obviously Liza Minnelli is the daughter of Judy Garland. Judy Garland's real name is Frances Esther Gum. Okay, and she did a little act on vaudeville with her sisters when she was a kid, the Gum sisters. She got discovered by MGM, by Louis B. Mayer, offered her a contract because she had this big voice. Okay, but they thought that she wasn't attractive. I've seen Judy Garland when early in her career. She was not ugly. I don't know why so many people kept saying that she was ugly. She wasn't ugly. Okay, she was a pretty girl. Okay, the only problem you can't tell by watching the movie, but she was only 4'11", so that's a little too short for me. Okay, that's a little midget right there. Okay, but she wasn't ugly. Okay, I mean, come on, Mickey Rooney was fucking in a lot of movies with her. Okay, and he's fucking like 5'1". Okay, so like he's a little fucker too, and he's over here fucking Ava Gardner and shit, and fucking Lana Turner and Betty Grable. Okay, so yeah, he's a fucking midget. All right, but he was also the most blockbuster money making actor in Hollywood at that time in the 30s. Okay, but she was not ugly. They talked about how she was fat. She wasn't fat. Okay, she looked very healthy. Okay, there was nothing wrong with her. But I understand that the Hollywood mentality of you gotta look perfect. I mean, she was up there with fucking, like I said, like Lana Turner and fucking Veronica Lake. A lot of these fucking drop dead gorgeous women that she competed for roles with. So I can understand that she was cast aside as the girl next door, the lonely girl, that kind of thing. But she was not unattractive. She was not unattractive at all. I thought she was actually very pretty. If she was a little bit taller, I would have dated her. Okay, but I'm speculating here. But anyway, yeah. So we have all seen The Wizard of Oz. She had a great voice. Incredible voice, incredible performer, very, very talented. What did her in was the fucking drugs, okay, that the Hollywood system gave her, fucked up her life. They put her on diet pills. They put her on a forced diet, they made her put things in her nose to make her nose sharper. They did plastic surgery on her. They did a lot of shit, they put corsets on her to make her look skinny. The whole Hollywood system was terrible. And yes, she was abused a lot, and she her mom, that was her meal ticket. Her mom managed her career, so her daughter was her meal ticket. So of course, whatever Louis B. Mayer wanted, absolutely, okay. The mom, Judy Garland's mom let Louis B. Mayer sexually molest her. He was one of the first people that she was passed around to when she was like 13 was fucking Spencer Tracy, was fucking her on a regular basis. Spencer Tracy, who at the time was like fucking 37 years old, and he was fucking Judy Garland, and then she was allowed to go out drinking and hotspot, and she fell in love with Artie Shaw, the band leader from the 1930s, okay? She thought he was gonna marry her, okay, when she was like 17 or 16. You can imagine how she felt when she heard on the radio that he had fucking married Lana Turner instead. And that wasn't the worst of it. That was not the worst of it. No, because while this was going on, Betty Grable was also listening to the radio at that time. She's like, "You motherfucker! I'm pregnant with your baby. You married somebody else." Yeah, okay, so yeah, a lot of stuff was going on. Okay, yes. Yeah, a lot of shit was going on in Hollywood in the 30s that you didn't know about. Okay, so yeah, so all that kind of shit. So she had a very fucked up childhood. We all know that story. Most of us know that story. And of course, when she became an adult, she became a big-time alcoholic, big-time drug addict. She lost a lot of her money. She went through marriages like crazy. I mean, it was bad. It was really bad. She got married. I believe Judy Garland was married like 5 times, and 2 of the guys that she married were gay. Yeah, okay. Well, now we're talking about her daughter. Liza Minnelli is the daughter of Vincent Minnelli and Judy Garland. Judy Garland met Vincent Minnelli when they were filming in 1944 when they were filming Meet Me in St. Louis, which is the movie they talked about in the last one. Okay, that's the one that Jennifer Hudson's character Louise gave to Carrie for Christmas to watch that movie. She did. Remember? Ding, ding, ding went the trolley. Bang, bang, bang with the bell. Rah, rah, rah with my heartstrings. And the last time I saw him, I fell. Yeah, we all know that fucking shit. Okay, yeah. Yes, I like that song. Yes, it is catchy, so that's why I do it, okay? But it's still a straight man's point of view, okay? I'm not gay just for fucking I fucking said that song, okay? That's a fucking cool song, okay? And I can prove I'm not gay because I never saw the fucking movie, all right? I just saw that part. All right, it's on YouTube. Fuck it. I saw the remake of it too when they did the movie about Judy Garland's life. But anyway, the point is that Liza Minnelli, okay, was the daughter of Judy Garland, Vincent Minnelli. Now, Vincent Minnelli was very well known in Hollywood to be gay, okay, but he was one of the best musical directors at that time. Louis B. Mayer knew that about him. This guy, yeah, he's gay, but he makes some really good fucking musicals that people like. Okay, so Judy Garland and married Vincent Minnelli with Louis B. Mayer's blessing. Because they wanted to make it appeal, because there was a lot of rumors in Hollywood that eventually, if it got to the trade magazines or if it got to Luella Parsons or Hedda Hopper, okay, about Vincent Minnelli, they kept that shit a secret for a reason. They would tell the studios, hey, You either help me out or else I'm going to expose the shit I know about your actors and your directors. And so they're like, okay, fine. So they made this lavender wedding of Vincent Minnelli and Judy Garland. Okay, and maybe they really did love each other. I don't know. Maybe they really did love each other. Or maybe he loved her as much as he was capable of. And maybe the same thing with her, you know. But anyway, they had a baby, Liza Minnelli, their daughter, okay, and she grew up to follow in her mother's footsteps. Okay, and just like her mother, Liza Minnelli was extremely talented. Now, me personally, I remember Liza Minnelli when I was a toddler. Okay, I just remember because you know we had HBO in the late '70s, you know, and I was very, very young. Okay, but I do remember we watched. Unfortunately, we watched a lot of R-rated movies because we had HBO. Okay, in the '70s. Okay, picture quality, it was great. Okay, so I remember when my mom was at work. Okay, because she worked like 2 jobs. You know. My brother and I, you know, he was only like a year and a half older than me. You know, we would watch HBO at night. Yeah. Late at like on the weekends and shit, like, you know, like we stay up late and watch HBO. We watch rated R movies. I mean, my brother's favorite movie when he was fucking 7 years old was fucking Looking for Mr. Goodbar. Okay, with Diane Keaton and Richard Gere, and that's definitely not a movie kids should be watching. Okay, but anyway, I remember I think they played Cabaret on there one night when we were watching. So I remember I remembered Liza Minnelli, and then back in the late '70s, she was very popular. You know, she was out there. She's always going to Studio 54 and getting shit-faced, doing cocaine and drugs, you know, and fucking getting laid and fucking getting shit-faced. Yeah, she inherited her mother's alcoholism, unfortunately, okay? But she also inherited her mother's talent, okay? She could dance and she could sing. She had that alto voice, okay? She was very big. Like I said, she's one of the very few people that got the Emmy, the Grammy, an Academy Award, okay, and a Tony. Okay, she got an EGOT. I know Rita Moreno's another one. Okay, but very few people have ever gotten one of all four, and she has. So that's how talented she is. But like I said, she also paralleled her mother in a lot of ways. She also got married twice. She also married 5 times like her mom. Okay, 2 of them were to gay guys. Yes, okay. Now the big difference between Judy Garland and Liza Minnelli, Liza Minnelli never had children. She was pregnant. To this day, we do not know who the father was. But they tried. She was going through a miscarriage. They took her to the emergency room. They were trying to save the baby. They had to perform some sort of a surgery on her to save the baby. Unfortunately, the baby died, and it also prevented Liza from ever having children, biological children. So it's very sad. So I can understand her depression. You know, it must have been a horrible experience for her. But you know, she was a party girl. She really was. Okay, she loved to do. She was like Carrie Fisher. Or she partied with Carrie Fisher. Okay, the cocaine, the fucking, Studio 54. She did all that shit. Okay, and she hung out with a lot of gay people, like her mom did. Okay, she was a gay icon, but she was aware of it, and she paraded it around. Okay, she's very famous. Okay. And very, very talented woman. Unfortunately, some of her husbands, you know, they filed that she had beaten them up. Okay, her limousine, her chauffeur filed charges against her for sexually harassing him, demanding that she fuck him, or else she was going to fire him. That kind of stuff. Yeah, a lot of that stuff happened. She's been into rehab many, many times, like Robert Downey Jr. Okay, so she's had a very dramatic life. Very dramatic life. She's very well known to be a Hollywood prima donna. Okay, and unfortunately now she's a very old woman. You know, but you know she was you know, she is a survivor, and I have a lot of respect for her. You know, she really is her mother's daughter. Okay, she really is the daughter of her mom. Okay, Liza Minnelli. But yes, I remember her when I was a little boy, and I remember that I wish my mom was that cool. I remember thinking that when I was like 4 years old. I think I watched Cabaret. No, I'm not that old. I wasn't born when that movie came out. But they were playing on HBO. Okay, I don't remember that much. I just remember the singing and the dancing part. And I remember Liza Minnelli very well. She always had that fucking mascara, those big fucking lashes. You know, yeah, and I would just remember thinking, like, how come mom can't be that cool? You know, later on when I was older, I did see the actual movie. I saw part of it. I didn't see the whole thing, but it was some good stuff in there. The Cabaret song is very good. Very 1920s, you know, the flapper look with the silver fucking headband and the big fucking dangling earrings, you know, the short hair, those crazy hats that the girls wore in the 1920s. All that, you know, the short hair, you know, all that shit was pretty cool. You know, and of course, her and Joel Grey did that Money song. Money, money makes the world go around, the world go around. Okay, with Joel Grey, who obviously is Jennifer Grey's dad. You know, I remember him when he hosted Paddington Bear. But anyway, that's off point. The point is, Liza Minnelli is doing the goddamn wedding. Okay, and she's not on cocaine, I don't think. I don't think this time. Anyway, so she's there and she does the wedding for them. Okay, Liza Minnelli shows up. Now a lot of people, you can see like some of the gay guys that are singing in the chorus. They're like, oh, no! Like they're fucking shitting themselves. Okay, and Samantha says like, could this get any gayer? And Moran's like, it's the law of physics, Samantha. All this concentrated gay energy, and then boom, Liza Minnelli just appears. Well, it's true. She's just like her mom. Chip off the old block. Okay. Liza Minnelli is basically, was the Lady Gaga of the fucking 1970s. Yes, she was. That was her. Just like Judy Garland was the Lady Gaga of the 1950s. You know, so yeah, it comes around. It comes around, okay. Lady Gaga, as I call her. Okay, I'm sorry. She's nowhere near as talented as fucking Liza and Judy Garland. Okay. So Liza is there. She's like, and now the brooms. Well, what? What is this? Brooms? And Stammer's just like, yes, bride and groom. Broom. Oh my God. Liza's like, oh, that's marvelous. That's marvelous. Yeah, she's drunk. She's drunk, unfortunately. I can tell. Okay, and who uses the word marvelous anymore? Okay, that's like, okay, and Stanford's like, thank you. And then he looks at the crowd, Liza Minnelli. Like he's proud of himself for getting her there. Well, I'd be proud too, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, Liza Minnelli. Oh, hell yeah. Okay, so her second, now something you need to know about Liza Minnelli, she does make this little joke about like, you know, hey, marriage is serious. Or so I've been told. Yeah, she would know. I think, 5 times she got married? Hey, one of her husbands that wasn't gay, one of the ones that wasn't gay was Jack Haley Jr., okay? And Jack Haley Sr., for those of you who don't know, co-starred with her mother in The Wizard of Oz. Yes, he was the Tin Man. He was a last-minute replacement because the real Tin Man they hired, Buddy Ebsen from the Beverly Hillbillies, okay? And Barnaby Jones, for those, that was like when I was I watched the reruns. Okay, yeah. Barnaby Jones and Beverly Hillbillies. Like Buddy Ebsen was the original Tin Man, but they used real aluminum on his makeup and it got in his throat. He breathed it in and he almost fucking died. They didn't want to stop making the movie, so they just hired another guy. Okay, and they changed the makeup, but they hired another guy. They hired Jack Haley Sr. Okay, and his son, Jack Haley Jr. would eventually marry Dorothy's daughter, Liza Minnelli. That was one of her husbands, was Jack Haley Jr., yes. Yes, that really happened, okay? I told you, dramatic life, okay? So she married the son of her mom's co-star. Okay, so that's going on here. Anthony says, when he does his vows, he says, it was not love at first sight. No, it wasn't. He thought he was ugly. Remember, he said, you told me he looked like Ed Harris. More like Ed Hairy Ass. Has no hair ass. Remember at the fashion show, the one with Heidi, the episode with Heidi Klum and Carrie fell down on her face? Yeah, that was the episode where they first met. Okay, he says, but it turns out that it was love. You are the first man to accept me for the man that I actually am. Okay. Carrie gets all choked up too. Like Anthony did that. He fucking choked up in the middle of his fucking vows. Carrie also gets choked up. I wouldn't have gotten choked up. It's a fucking gay wedding. Okay. Anyway, they break the glass because I guess Stanford's Jewish. I had no idea he was Jewish. I should have known. But I mean, everyone on the show is Jewish. Even the ones that are playing not Jewish, they're Jewish in real life. So like, who the fuck? I mean, yeah, you'd be surprised. Okay, I think Chris Noth is Jewish in real life, but his character Big is not. Obviously, Steve is not Jewish, but in real life he is. Okay, Cynthia Nixon, I don't think she's Jewish. Charlotte's character converted to Judaism. Harry is Jewish in real life and in the show. Sarah Jessica Parker is not Jewish, but she is in real life. So it's like, it's like they're all Jewish. What the fuck? Okay. Carrie gets all choked up as well. Okay, and they break the glass. Mazel tov! Mazel tov! That's a Jewish word for, I guess, happy something. I don't know. Okay, you will notice that there are no Christians on Sex and the City. Okay, there are no Christians on Sex and the City, but they do. But a lot of the characters on Sex and the City do celebrate Christmas, but there are no actual Christians on Sex and the City, which is kind of fucked up, don't you think? All right. Liza Minnelli performs Beyonce's Single Ladies. All single ladies, all single ladies, all single ladies. But okay, you know, all you fucking girls were dancing that song in 2008. All right, you all were. You know you were. 2009. I don't know whenever the fuck it came out. All right. Oh my God. I mean, if you've all ever seen, if you look up on YouTube Judy Garland, okay, when she was like in her 40s, like before she died, she would do a lot of, she had her own TV show, okay? She had the Judy Garland show, and Liza Minnelli, as a teenager, would guest star on the show a lot, okay? But she would do this show, or just watch the, if you watch the Renee Zellweger movie, I think that's in there too. She would do this show in front of like the live studio audience where she would touch the audience, and she would do this crazy ass fucking dance, you know, and she'd do like karate kicks and this shit. And the woman is like 42 years old and she's doing this shit. Yeah, it's pretty fucking embarrassing. She's fucking on cocaine or she's on something. Okay, she's not fucking, air doesn't get you that high. Okay, but she's on fucking something, right? Probably just drunk, maybe. Well, yeah, like I said, Liza Minnelli's a chip off the old block. She's dancing like the 66-year-old drunk woman that she is. She can still sing, but I mean, this woman, I mean, she had an accident earlier where she had to relearn her ability to walk. I forgot what the accident was, you know, where she was on a wheelchair, but she had to learn how to walk again, how to dance again and stuff like that. And it was a very hard experience for her. And she had just gotten out of that when she did this movie. So this is her first opportunity to dance again like she did when she was on Broadway, you know. And it looks like an old lady dancing. I'm sorry. She looks like an old lady. She looks like her mom. Like her mom, old lady dancing, you know. I mean, obviously Judy Garland died when she was in her 40s, but, you know, she looked like she was in her 60s when she died because of all the drugs and all the drinking, you know. And unfortunately, Liza Minnelli, who is in her 60s in the scene here, looks like that too, you know. I'm sorry. I mean, she still got it, don't get me wrong. The fact that she's 66 years old and can move around like that is pretty impressive. It really is. Like I said, she outlived her mom by a lot. But it's an old lady dancing to Beyonce, you know. Yeah, but yeah, she is a chip off the old block, okay? Rose, okay, is in one of the rooms. It turns out Harry went to go check on Rose. We don't see the scene, but Harry comes back from checking on Rose. He's in one of the rooms inside this fucking place, okay? They all have rented rooms there for this wedding, okay? And Rose is with the nanny. Rose is 2 years old. She's not rock, new kid on the block. She's not that yet. But she will be, okay? And with the nanny, who we have not met yet, okay? But they brought the nanny with them, okay? Harry says, Rose is driving us a little crazy. And Charlotte's like, everything is fine. She's just fussy. Yeah, she's a lot more than just fussy. Okay, Liza keeps performing, and Samantha gets in on it. She's up front with all the gay guys. Yeah! She's trying to dance too, you know? You know, Kim Cattrall's trying to make her bust her moves too, you know? Dancing with the gay guys, okay? And she really does a great job, okay? You know, Liza Minnelli, I believe, is 64 years old, and she really does dance really good for a 64-year-old. I got to point that out. She's still talented, okay? I know now she's in a wheelchair or something, but yeah, I mean, she's a fucking icon. She's a fucking legend, just like her mom. I give all praise to her, even though her style is not my thing. You know, I never really watched Cabaret, the whole thing. I never watched her perform. You know, I just remember her and her mom. I remember her when I was a little boy. And of course, I remember her mom because, you know, I watched The Wizard of Oz when I was a little kid on TV, you know, so that's it. All right. Miranda says, like, you know, we got married so we wouldn't have to sing that song at a wedding. Steve's like, oh, is that the only reason? She's like, yeah. So they kiss, and the kiss gets interrupted by a text from Miranda from her new law partner. Apparently, there's this new lawyer, this new partner, a senior partner at her job that's been treating her like shit. Oh my God, how does it feel, Miranda, to treat someone like shit, huh? Yeah, it doesn't feel so good, does it, right? Anyway, he's treating her like shit, and she's complaining about him. She's trying to text him back, you know, and Steve explains while she's doing that, oh yeah, he's just being real, making her life a living hell over there. You know, and senior partner who hates her, okay? Her voice, her mouth, you know, he hates everything about her. Wow. At least I'm not alone, okay? So he puts his hand up. She tells him that he likes to put his hand up to her when she's talking, you know, the talk to the mouth thing. And don't tell me he mansplains too, doesn't he? Okay, to let her know to shut the fuck up, and she doesn't like it. Yeah, I bet she doesn't, right? Yeah. Well, I like the guy already, I can tell you that. Okay. So that's going on here. The gay guys, a gay guy hits on Big while he's at the bar getting a drink for Carrie. A gay guy hits on him. Hey, how you doing? You know, like, dude, look at his hand. He's got a ring on his hand, okay? Even if it wasn't gay, you wouldn't want to hit on a guy who's married, right? So, yeah. But I've been hit on by gay guys. It is kind of weird. I think about this time I was dating this girl, and one of her friends who was gay, he was having his birthday at a gay bar, and I didn't really want to go, but she had to go because, you know, it was her friend, one of her closest friends. So I ended up going with her to the gay bar. Okay. So we went for this guy's birthday party, and he was like I want to say he's like a transgendered type guy too. Like he liked to dress in women's clothes, but he obviously looked like a man, you know. And so we went, and I remember we were sitting at the bar. I went with her, and then she went to go to the bathroom. She was not gone 3 seconds before some dude came up to me like, "Hey, how you doing? You know, you look very hot." You know, that kind of shit. I'm like, "Oh, dude, come on, man. Come on, dude." Like, yeah. I mean, I'm flattered. I'm flattered. Okay, but yeah, it is kind of weird. It's kind of creepy. It really is, you know. So, ladies, we know what you're going through when a strange guy hits on you and you don't want it. Yeah, we know what that's like. Okay. All right. So, yeah. So that's going on here. He goes back to the table with the drinks and he tells Carrie, "Hey, gay guy hit on me. Well, how does that make you feel?" Like I still got it. Well, yes, you do. You know, there's a couple sitting behind them, and they're a married couple, and she recognizes Carrie. "Oh, I'm such a big fan. I swear to God, I read all your books, you know, and I am you. I swear to God, I'm just like you. I am you." And she's like, "Oh, well, in that case, allow me to introduce you to your husband. This is John James Preston, you know, whatever." But that's kind of funny. Okay, so that's going on. And her name is Ellen, by the way, and her husband's there. She's like, "We've been married for 2 years as well, just like you." Okay, and we're expecting a baby. Not me. No. In vitro. We have a surrogate. Sorry, we have a surrogate. Okay, so you know it's and the due date is going to be our anniversary. Okay, and we can recommend somebody if you want. And they're like, "Oh, no, we love kids, but it's not for us." And Big's like, "She does have a new book that's coming out though, about marriage." And I was like, "Oh, so you don't like you don't want kids? Okay, well, bye." And they basically blow him off. And Big's like, "Man, she looked like someone just told her there's no such thing as Santa Claus." Okay. Okay, so that goes on. And that pretty much ends the wedding. Okay, so I'm going to end my review right here. This is the end of part 2 of my review of Sex and the City, the movie. And I will be back very shortly for part 3. Thank you for watching this long, and I will see you soon on the next one. Bye.